It's been just under 4 years since Superstorm Sandy devastated the southern shores of New York City and Brooklyn and Queens in October 2012. Since then, homes have been rebuilt, the boardwalks in two popular beach areas, the Rockaways and Coney Island, have been rejuvenated, and the city has built up the infrastructure of its shoreline. But one of the bigger questions being asked of residents is whether or not they are ready for the next big storm. So I'm in Coney Island. The Coney Island Hospital is right behind me. This area was considered relatively safe from flooding for quite some time because it's so inland from the ocean. The ocean is about a quarter mile that way. But once Hurricane Sandy hit, this entire area was flooded, and the hospital behind me actually had 200 people stranded inside for a few days without power. This entire neighborhood is now considered a high-risk flood zone. Even a few streets up north are considered flood zones. I'm going to go to one of the new neighborhoods that are being redistricted and actually talk to a few residents and see if they're really ready in case of a massive flood. I went about 4 streets over to Avenue U in Stillwell. This area has never really seen flooding, so we went to go find a few people who would tell us whether or not they were ready for the next flood. FEMA recently added this neighborhood as a flood zone, and people obviously are upset about it. They've been talking about how their insurance is going up, their insurance is being taken away, and so we're hoping to get somebody to talk to us. Excuse me, ma'am. Do you live in this neighborhood? So are you worried at all?
Yeah, but I mean, even with the wind and stuff, you didn't know if your windows were going to blow in. You didn't know what was going to happen, and it was terrible.
If this area was to flood, would you be prepared for it?
No, not really.
Why?
I really don't know why. I mean, I have everything, lower floors, I wouldn't be prepared to leave, I mean, if it came to that.
Grandmother lives right here.
How long has she lived here?
Her whole life.
Okay. If for some odd reason that this area did get flooded, is she prepared? Do you feel that she might be prepared?
No, a lot of our stuff will get ruined probably.
Yeah, the basement, yeah. No, I don't think so.
No, not prepared. No.
In talking to people around here, it sounds like nobody's really prepared for it. They treat their basements here as storage. And so you can imagine that if this area was to experience a flood to the devastation of it was in the Rockaways with Sandy, a lot of these people's lives, their memories would be completely gone. After speaking with people in this area, I decided to go see a friend of mine, Jim Otten, over in the Rockaways. He and his partner, John, actually decided to wait out the storm and faced massive financial burdens after their home had been flooded with nearly 4 feet of water. I wanted to see if he actually was ready himself for the next flood as well.
Here, wow, that's so high. And this is actually,
What will happen at the next hurricane?
And I now have on my homeowner's insurance this $30,000 hurricane deductible, which I still need to figure out because I don't have that deductible to if this were to happen again.
Right. It's just that's money gone.
The city has taken FEMA to task on the rezoning. They claim that the flood zones aren't accurate and put too many people in a place where there just won't be any floods. But in the event FEMA wins out over the city, there could be a good chunk of city residents who will have to come to terms with rising waters.